DJI have quietly released the version 2 goggles, lifting the embargo for all the reviewers to be able to start publishing content about them. Now, I'll leave you to go and watch your favourite reviewer for all the details about what is included in the version 2 goggles. Today we're actually going to address what they haven't told you, the things that they can't tell you because they're still under non-disclosure agreements or they're still under embargo. By the way, if this is the first time you've stopped by the channel, be sure to watch till the end of the video where there's details on how you can win a Radio Master TX12. Now, let's start from the very top. Each of the reviewers have hinted that the embargo has been lifted and they are under non-disclosure agreements, so aren't able to talk about future and potential products. But they have made some very subtle hints towards different things and made it very clear that they can't talk about certain topics due to those legal restrictions. So that leads us to really go down the path of what is potentially coming. Now, without the I can neither confirm or deny stuff that does go on, we can actually look at some of the features that are already in the version 2 goggles as well as some of the existing links. So starting off with number 1 is the DJI FPV Drone. We have seen images of that and it is very much imminent that the FPV drone is coming. It's also been hinted that there could be some features in the goggles that relate specifically to that drone. Now, what we do know about the FPV drone is it is going to be running 6S brushless with the gimbal. If we look at some of the other things across all of the DJI products, they do tend to run the 2.4 GHz frequency for video transmission. In the version 2 goggles, it has both 5.8 as well as the 2.4 compatibility. So it's fair to say that potentially the 2.4 GHz spectrum will be used to work with the new DJI FPV drone. But what we also know about 5.8 is we've got higher data transfer. We know that the 5.8 network, especially from our own Wi-Fi, can actually transfer more data in close range. The 5.8 GHz on the V1 goggles does allow transmission of up to 4 kilometers. So it's fair to say when looking at the distance some of the other DJI drones can go on 2.4 with a video feed, we're probably going to be looking at around the 10 kilometer distance. So we could probably assume that the new DJI FPV drone is going to be able to have up to 10 kilometers of range, especially over that 2.4 frequency. The other thing is they hinted at potential new air units. They have mentioned that the existing goggles they have mentioned that the new goggles will be backwards compatible with existing air units and vistas in market, and that's obviously going to be transmitting over the 5.8. Now, some of them have stopped short about saying potentially new air units. They've gone to the limit to say that there may or may not be something coming in the future. So it's fair to assume that the video transmitter that's in the FPV drone is probably a form of a new air unit. So I would probably say that we are going to be looking at having some new air units, version 2 if you will, come out in the near future. Now, if they can transmit over both 2.4 and 5.8, it's fair to say that the firmware will allow a few different modes. Now, I would envisage that we would have the high quality 50 megabits mode, like we do now, transmitting over 5.8, a low latency mode, again using the higher bitrate and packet rate over the 5.8 network, and potentially a long distance mode, where that's going to allow you to take your drone with a new air unit up to 10 kilometers with pure crisp HD. Now that also begs the question, will the new air unit actually be suitable for some of the long range builds? What we've seen across freestyle videos from long range pilots is they very much love having the crisp video feed that an air unit or a CADX Vista provide. And if we look at the work iNav have been doing to bring further compatibility with additional OSD features to the DJI system, it's fair to say that we might be heading down that path. So I guess between having new air units as well as the FPV drone and the new goggles, where does that leave us with what's coming next? To summarize this, I think the three things that we're going to be looking for are firstly, new DJI FPV drone with up to 10 kilometers of range, new air units, potentially a new Vista as well, that broadcast over both 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies. And the third and final thing, which I did notice in the specifications on the website, and we haven't spoken about it so far, is compatibility for the DJI goggles to work with existing DJI drones. There is a mention of the other box goggles that are available from DJI do have the ability to go and connect to existing drones. So it's fair to say that the V2 goggles might bridge that gap and bring FPV to Mavic pilots. So they're the three things that I think are coming, but obviously we're going to have to wait and see. Until next time, I'm Darren, and don't forget to send it. Hey, it's Darren here. Just wanted to talk through our competition to win a Radiomaster TX12. All you have to do is like this video, comment below with how you set up your aux channels, end it with the hashtag aux channel, and most of all, subscribe. You need to be a subscriber to win. Competition closes 15th of January 2021, midnight Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's a game of chance, so best of luck.